in just over 3 years now.
Wow.
And we've obviously grown from one product line to 3 and then some. Like we're doing masks now, we're doing our Atira towels, and it's kind of been a whirlwind. We can't really believe that we've done all of this in this amount of time, but also really exciting.
Amazing. And what would you say some of the secrets to success are?
I think for sure team. I mean, there are 3 of us co-founders. We've been growing out our team in 2020. We've been doing a lot of things we didn't expect to do in 2020, but we grew our team. We launched 2 new product lines. I think the secrets that aren't really secrets are just pushing through, you know, and it's funny because there's hard things about launch and then there's hard things about growth.
Yes.
So I think that as you continue to grow, it just gives you more opportunities, more questions, more challenges. It never stops. I think if it stops, that's probably a bad thing.
Absolutely.
So every day is just different size questions.
Right. Which is one of the things that a lot of entrepreneurs love, right? Is the variety, but you are always learning.
You have to. Yeah.
So when you look back, and I remember those days when you were just getting started, which is so incredible to see your growth and evolution. But I know you engaged with Women's Enterprise Center, and I'd love to hear how your experience was with that and how the loan that you accessed at that time may have helped you.
Absolutely. I mean, I come from a banking background, so I understood how loans worked, but I'd never really been on the other side of it with a business. And so honestly, we went into the process knowing quite a bit about what to expect, but at the same time, like I think in a good way, we were really put through the ringer.
Right.
So I tell people, other entrepreneurs who are starting businesses nowadays, they ask like, what are the things that we should do? And I think one of the things that people should do is get loan money or investment or some manner of capital that doesn't come from your own bank account.
Yes.
And the reason is because it actually makes you think about and test out your idea.
Yeah.
So we went to meet with our account manager at WEC. We had a cash flow projection done for a couple years.
Great.
And she started to ask us questions, and they were hard questions.
Yeah.
When are you going to pay yourselves?
Right.
How do you know who's going to do what? Have you talked to customers yet? And a lot of those questions dictated how we proceeded.
Right.
And I think also that showed WEC and other lenders that we were willing to be coachable and
do the work.
Yeah, and could do the work and try, right?
Yes.
And listen to the people who have seen so many businesses.
Absolutely.
Everybody I find is usually, especially in the communities that we are involved in, they're asking you questions to help, not necessarily to hinder.
Yes.
So that experience in the early days was really important for us now that we look back on it.
I think that's such an important point, right? Because you're so in your business. I mean, all the time, but certainly at the beginning. And there's so many moving parts and you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So by engaging an external lender who has those fresh eyes, but the deep experience and who genuinely wants to see you succeed.
Absolutely.
And give you what they can to make that happen.
It's the first business plan we'd ever put together, right? And we read that document so many times and even went back to that document when we needed to see what we had thought we would do.
Yes.
And sometimes we, far surpassed it, and sometimes it was like, okay, that definitely wasn't the way that we went.
Yeah. Absolutely. But sometimes it just triggers different things, things to think about, right? Which is so important.
Yeah.
So now, and the capital at that time. So you had a loan from Women's Enterprise Center.
Yes.
How critical was that piece? So there was the process of accessing the money, but then how did those funds actually help you?
It was huge. I mean, it helped us buy our first small run.
Okay.
And it helped us go and meet our manufacturer and really do that work that we were so unfamiliar with at the beginning.
Yes.
And we still laugh about it because at the beginning, all we wanted to do was sell this first small run.
Yeah.
And if nothing else happened after that, it would have been fine. We would have tried it, right? And instead, that first small run went and all of the things we had to navigate to figure out how to do that.
Yes.
Once they were done, we just, we got the bug, right?
Yeah.
We're like, let's keep going.
Yeah.
And so that small run grew to more colors of bedding. Yes. It grew into our robes. And so we stayed with sleep for a very long time, what feels like a very long time.
Yeah.
And then, slowly we started to branch out. So, again, there were 3 of us and we very well could have probably cobbled together the money to do what we wanted to try to do.
Yeah.
But I've sort of always been a believer in making sure that you're hedging out. And you and I have talked about this.
Yes.
Make it a capital building puzzle, right?
Yes.
Is it investment? Is it a little bit of a loan? Is it a little bit of grant money? And then, go from there.
Exactly.
So that was so helpful to us.
Amazing. Yeah. It really is a funding journey, or as we've talked about, the funding puzzle, and each of the pieces is going to come together in different ways for every different entrepreneur and at every different stage and depending on the business.
I think also the early days getting one loan meant that when we went to get more capital, we'd already had the experience of doing it.
Yes.
And, other banks were comfortable because they knew that we had gone through that process and had, had been good loan clients.
Absolutely. No, I think that's a great story, right? Because it is, you have to, and sometimes you have to take those risks along the way, right?
Yeah.
And know that you're supported.
Absolutely.
Right? It's not just about the capital.
No.
It's about all of the other things that come along with it.
There's so much money around.
Yeah.
But you need to get it from the right places.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, we're absolutely thrilled. And you paid back your loan, which is amazing. In a very short time, but it helped to facilitate and fuel your growth.
Absolutely.
And now here you are, 3 product lines.
Yes.
And these are the types of stories we want to celebrate, the types of entrepreneurs we want to celebrate. You're creating jobs right now. Yes. You're creating beautiful products and creating impact.
Yeah. Making it nicer to be in people's homes at the moment.
Absolutely. And amazing to sleep on.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah. Thank you so much
for
the help.
everything that you're doing.
Absolutely.